What's up, plumbing nerds? It's your good buddy Timmy G here. Today I'm just gonna make a real quick little video about soldering copper, sweating, soldering copper. For beginners, if you've been plumbing for years, this video is not for you. Show you my quick little setup here. Got my torch here. Booyakasha. Keep an eye on that thing. Make sure it's tight. I've heard stories about these things coming loose and blowing up on guys. Always check your hose. Make sure there's no cuts in it. Make sure it's good to go. Check your turbo torch. Make sure this thing's tight. Once a week. Give it a little once over with the wrench. You don't want to blow up. This, my friends, is one of my favorite things I got. This blue bucket. Werner ladder. Werner makes a blue bucket that clips right in there. I don't know how to survive without it. I keep my solder in there. I keep my flux in there. I keep my rigid reamer in there. Boom, boom. Makes life easier. Copper cutters. You know, you got everything you need right there. Now, if you're like all the guys that I work with, you probably noticed these nice little earplugs I got in. Check it out. Take care of your ears. This torch hisses. You put a decibel reader next to that sucker, it's gonna be high. And when you're sweating a bunch of pipe all day, you don't wanna just be listening to that hiss. So I pop the earplugs in. The old guys make fun of me, but screw them. I wanna hear when I get older. Listen, sweating pipes, it's all about preparation. You get your turn brush. Right now I'm working with 3/4. I'm about to put a little 90 on here. Get your turn brush. Give it a good go in there. Clean it up. Make it nice. You don't want to be doing leaks later. Have a look in there. Don't just turn and look away. Have a look in there. Make sure it's looking nice. You got no buildup, no nothing in there. Nice clean copper. Give something to adhere to. Also, you're going to want to go ahead and take your Scotch-Brite, as we like to call it here. Take your Scotch-Brite to the pipe. Use a little muscle. Work that sucker. Get it going. Get it clean. See any blemishes, anything, give it another go. A nice clean pipe is gonna sweat a lot better than something that has a little blemish on it or some buildup on it. Clean your pipes, people. Reamer, ream your pipes. Ream your pipes, it takes 2 seconds. A lot of guys take the shortcuts. No shortcuts, ream your pipes. You're gonna get a better fit. It takes 2 seconds. Your fitting's gonna slide around on there, no problem. Ream your pipes. What's next? You know it. Your good old flux. I got my utility paste for soldering right here. Listen, at the end of this thing, it gets nasty in there. Throw it out. Get a fresh one. Nice clean flux. It's all about cleanliness here when we're sweating pipes. So look, we got a little dippity doodah. Get your brush nice and juicy. Oh, get it on there. Clean it up. This is an acid. This is an acid. It cleans the pipe. It gets it ready for the solder to adhere to it. You put hot solder to copper, it is not going to adhere without this. Acid, baby. Also, I better see you guys out there. Also important, not just the pipe. Whack your fitting. Get this thing nice and juicy, lubed up, ready to go. Ready to go. Now we're ready to have some fun. Listen guys, here's a little side tip, and I can't stress this enough, especially when you're starting out. Always, when you get out of the truck in the morning, you get a pencil, you get a level, and you get your measuring tape, and you have them on your person at all times throughout the day. Your foreman's gonna be very excited when he sees you doing this. And it just goes to show that you mean business and you're ready and you're here to work. If you're starting and you're going to get to work in the morning, you got to run back to the truck every 5 minutes for your level, your tape, your pencil, something like that. It's just going to slow you down, and your foreman's going to notice that. So just make sure. I got myself this little clip, bada bing, bada boom, level in the pocket, pencil in the ear. I'm ready to go every day. So check it out. As you can see behind me, I've got my pipe hung. The next piece that I'm going to be sweating into this 90 we've been working on. Using the loop hangers, clevis hangers, threaded rod into Sammy's, into the CLT above. You know, a little tip is just, you're gonna be using insulation on most of your pipes. This job in particular is a huge rush. The people wanna move in this house yesterday. Obviously it's not ready yet, but I'm having an insulating crew coming in after me to insulate. So for right now, I'm hanging pipe, little pieces of insulation. This way, when the insulating crew comes, no adjustments need to be made. they can just get right to it. The pipe's gonna be at the right height. All right, so as we can see here, I got my 90. My pipe's cleaned, my fitting's cleaned. I have flux applied, my pipe's hung with insulation. Looks like we're about ready to put a little heat on this sucker and get this thing all sweat together. Now, the things I've learned in my little time plumbing is that you don't need as much heat as you think you're gonna need sometimes. Just get it hot enough to where the solder starts to melt, and you'll see the fitting suck the solder right into it. And once that starts to happen, you don't need to add any more. You don't really need solder dripping off the bottom of your fitting. Just enough. You don't want to overheat your fittings here. So let's give it a shot, see how we do. Turbo torch, striker. All right, we're all set. You're gonna wanna give your fitting a few seconds just to cool down. And I like to just hit it with a little more flux. And that'll clean up all the buildup that came with the flame. We'll have a nice looking little setup here. So here we have our final product. Looks solid, looks like it's gonna hold. Didn't overheat the fitting, didn't add too much heat, just the perfect amount to melt the solder and have the fitting accept the solder. Nothing's perfect. Guys who have perfect fittings every time, they ain't real plumbers. They're taking too much time. Make it watertight, make it clean, clean up after yourself, hang your pipe straight, and you're on to the next one. Check back next time. See you soon.